Good morning class, welcome to the live online class. We are continuing with chapter number 1, globes, maps and diagrams. In the last class, I was explaining you globes. So, as you know that the earth is spherical in shape, or the earth is in geode shape, and the most suitable way to represent this earth, the picture of the earth, as a complete picture that you find is through the globe. So, earth as a whole is shown on a globe. So, what is a globe? Globe is an object, okay? It's an object, okay, to represent the spherical shape of the earth with a map of the world on its surface. Now, if you look at this globe, you find there is a world map on the surface of the globe, and it is usually mounted on a stand so that it can rotate freely. But how it can rotate freely? It is due to these 2 points that you find here. These 2 points are called axes. It's known as the Earth's axis. Okay. So in a globe, you find Earth's axis. So this Earth axis helps the globe to rotate in a clockwise and anti-clockwise directions. So this Earth axis is the axis around which an object, okay, rotates, R-O-T-A-T, rotates or spins, S-P-R-N-S. Now you can see here, this Earth axis is the axis on which an object like the globe rotates or spins. Now, I am going to write something on the blackboard. The spinning of the Earth on its axis, now and giving quote and unquote, is termed as rotation. R-O-T-A-T-I-O-N, rotation. Now, if you want to know the actual path of rotation of the Earth, of our Earth or globe it is from west to east direction. It rotates from west to east. West is this side, east is this side. So it rotates from west to east. Okay? Now, I want to draw the Earth's axis in order to show you how, okay, it is shown. Now, if I draw a diagram here, a sphere, if I draw, I'm not drawing a circle here, please remember that. A circle is a figure, a sphere is an object. So, our Earth is divided into 2 equal halves by an imaginary line called equator, that is 0 degree. So 0 degree above the equator is known as the North Pole, and 0 degree below the south is known as the South Pole. Now I want to draw the Earth's axis. Now when we are drawing the circle, we find this is the path. But as you know, axis of our Earth is not vertical. This is a vertical line. This is a horizontal line. It's not like this. The actual axis of the Earth is basically a little bit tilted from this side. So, axis of the Earth is not vertical, but it is a little bit tilted or inclined. So you find the axis is found here. The North Pole is found here. North Pole is found here, South Pole is found here. Okay? And it is basically, the difference here is basically 25.5 degree. So if you see this globe, you find the globe is also a little bit tilted. It is not straight. It's not like this way. It's a little bit tilted. So axis of our Earth is not vertical, but it is inclined. It makes an angle of 66.5 degree with plane of its orbit. Okay, with plane of its orbit, that is okay, not 25, 23.5. So here you find is 66.5 curvature. Here you find the axis of the Earth. Okay. So the Earth's axis is the imaginary line joining the North Pole and the South Pole. So what you can see is the Earth axis is the imaginary line which joins the North Pole and the South Pole. Yeah, now you can see in the picture, it joins the North Pole and the South Pole through the center of the Earth. Through the center of the Earth. This is the center of the Earth, okay? From above the North Pole, the Earth appears to rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Now, what is clockwise and anti-clockwise? Now you have seen a clock. This is 12, this is 6, this is 3, this is 9. Now, the clock rotates this way. Actually, the clock rotates this way. This is clockwise direction. This is anti-clockwise direction. This is anti-clockwise. This is anti-clockwise, this is clockwise. So, how does the Earth rotates? Now you can see the globe here. It rotates from west to east in the anti-clockwise direction. It rotates from west to east. This means that a place on the west side of the Earth appears to go towards the east. So, the places that are found on the west appears to go towards the east when the Earth rotates. Or when the Earth rotates on a globe, because this is the exact replica of our Earth. Globe is the exact replica of the Earth, which makes us possible to see how the Earth rotates. It rotates from west to east, and the places which are found on the west appears to go to the east when it rotates. On a road trip, if you are on a road trip, okay, going from one place to another, okay, if you go from west side to east side, if you are going from west to east on a road trip, if you are going from west to east inside a car, okay, distance objects like mountains, plains, valleys, etc. seems to move from east to west. Always remember that when you are moving in a car, you find objects that the mountains, valleys, hills, etc. move from which direction to which direction? It moves from east to west. Because the Earth rotates from west to east, therefore you find objects, okay, from inside the car you see they are moving from east to west. But one thing I want to tell you, we live in the east, in the northeast. We live in the northeast. So, as we are living in the east, when we are moving on a road from one place to another, the objects move from which direction to which direction? It moves from west to east. Similarly, since the Earth rotates from west to east, so as the Earth rotates from west to east, the Sun appears to move from east to west. Remember that. Then also you find the Sun rises in the east. Every day the Sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Because the Earth actually rotates from west to east. This is the reason why the Sun rises in the east and sets in the west. It is due to the rotation of the Earth. What is called rotation? This is called rotation. This is called rotation. And rotation part is from west to east. Remember that. So, a day spent on the planet Earth is a time taken by it to complete one full rotation. Earth completes rotation in 23 hours and 56 minutes. 23 hours and 56 minutes, the Earth completes its rotation. Now, apart from rotation, there is also revolution. Okay. Now, sun is the heart of the family. Let's take for example, this is sun. All the planets revolve around the sun. When the planet is revolving around the sun, all the planets like this, Earth, Moon, okay, all the planets, Venus, etc., is moving around the sun. It also rotates on its own elliptical orbit. So on its axis, it rotates. So when the Earth is basically revolving, it rotates also. Are you getting that? All planets revolve around the sun in the anti-clockwise direction. Now, anti-clockwise direction. As the planets revolve around the sun, the satellites also move around with them. So, the moon is the Earth's own satellite. The moon revolves around the Earth, and Earth revolves around the sun. So, another point that you have to remember in a globe is, apart from rotation and revolution, you have to know is a globe is a three-dimensional figure. Is a dimensional object we call it, dimensional object we call it, or a figure we call it. Now, but if you compare the globe with a map is drawn on a flat surface, that is on a piece of paper. So, map is a 2D figure, whereas a globe is a 3D object or a figure. A globe is drawn on a small scale. It is not so detailed, but the map is very much detailed. There are political maps, physical maps, thematic maps, topographical maps. So according to that map, a scale is found. According to the scale, you find the details of that particular area. But if you look at the globe, it is not so detailed. I'm coming to that point. A 2D shape is a shape with two dimensions. So whenever we are talking about 2D shape, it has two dimensions. It has two dimensions. What are the two dimensions? Now I am writing on the blackboard. It is width and height. But it does not have depth or thickness. Now let's look at the 2D figure only. So I draw a circle here on the background. This is a circle. This is just a figure. This is just a figure. But if you look at the globe, this is an object which is bulky, which is heavy also, which has what? Volume also. It has what? Weight also. So you can see it has what? Thickness also. It has got thickness also. So what is a 3D figure then? 3D figure has width, height and thickness or depth. Thickness or depth. So a three-dimensional figure like the globe has width, height and thickness or a depth. But a circle is a 2D figure. It's a figure. It's not an object. So it doesn't have depth. So it doesn't have depth or thickness. So it has only width and height. There is only two dimensions here. Therefore it is called a 2D figure. But whereas a globe is a 3D figure. If you look at it from the mathematics point of view also, if you look here, if you are looking at the mathematics point of view and you are studying vertex, faces and edges also, the earth, if you look here, has got a face. This is called a face. Therefore it is a 3D figure. Are you getting my point? But 2D figure doesn't have that, features. Now, if you look at the globe, it shows all the landforms. What are the major landforms that you find on a land? Mountains, valleys, plains, hills, etc. The large continuous mass of land above the sea level are called continents. Now I'm writing on the blackboard. What does landmass mean? Landmass means land. So a globe has got land as well as water bodies. A globe has got two things. Okay, I'm writing on the blackboard. Okay, a globe has got two things: land and water. So this is called landmass. Okay, this is called water bodies. Are you getting my point? So I'm making so that you can understand what it means. It means land mass, water bodies. Okay, the large continuous mass of land. So a large land that you find on the globe, which is a continuous land, okay, which is found above the sea level, is called continents. So landmass is called continents. Okay. There are 7 major continents: Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and Antarctica. But large bodies of water that are found on the globe are called oceans. So what is called? They are called oceans. There are rivers also, there are lakes also, but I am talking only about oceans. You don't find rivers, lakes, etc. on a globe because it is not so detailed. Okay. So, how many oceans are there? Pacific Ocean, okay, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and Southern Ocean according to the size of the oceans. It shows the shape, size, and location of all the continents and oceans of the earth. So, what does a globe show? It shows the shape. Shape means appearance. Size means how big or small the landmass is or the water body is, as well as the general position or the location or the orientation of the land or the water body it shows. So a globe only shows the land and ocean, their shape, size, and location where it is found. But the sizes of these are shown on a reduced scale. But the size of these continents as well as oceans that you find on the globe is shown on a small picture. The picture has been reduced to a small scale. A scale is used to reduce the picture, the exact picture that you find on the earth. And details of small towns and villages of countries. So in a globe, you don't find pictures, okay, or images, okay, of small towns or villages of a country. So where do you find these small towns and villages of a country? In a particular map. Remember that? With this, I finished some of the things that are mentioned in the globe. Hope you find this lesson useful. Thank you for listening. In the next class I will continue with the globe only. Okay?